Hello, EOS Nation, and welcome to episode 22 of the EOS Hot Sauce. I'm your host, Daniel Keys, and we've got another spicy one for you this week. In this week's episode, we've got the BOS executive team, Emanate, EOSIO privacy, parallel elections, EOSIO tools, Scatter BP, games, and CampDAO. EOS Hot Sauce is available in every format. You can watch it on YouTube, listen on SoundCloud, listen on Apple Podcast or your podcast player of choice, and you can subscribe to the EOS Nation newsletter at our website to get updates anytime there's a new issue available. Up first, BOS Executive Team. When BOScore launched, many members of the community were curious about the people behind the project and wondered what they would actually deliver. After a solid 9 months of development and progress, it's now clear that BOScore is a strong organization capable of delivering improvements to the EOSIO protocol. You can learn more about the BOS community through a fun video montage they released this week to commemorate the recent BOS executive team elections. Congratulations to EOS Nation CEO Yves LaRose and Winland for being elected chairperson and vice chairperson of the BOS executive team. The chairperson's primary role is the oversight of the distribution of the encouragement stipend for BET members, as well as oversight of the ongoing improvement of the BOS ecosystem program strategy. This includes the strategic distribution of 0.8% inflation earmarked for developers and other infrastructure. In January 2020, another BET election will take place, and this time the votes will be counted using the Borda method. This method is used by the French Academy of Sciences to elect its members and is also used in other academic institutions, competitions, tournaments, Grammy Awards, and even several political jurisdictions. The responsibilities of the BET were also further elaborated and are listed as general ongoing promotion of BOS and its ecosystem, cooperation with chairpersons, ongoing monitoring of the performance of chairpersons, selection and/or removal of chairpersons by majority decisions. You can find links with more information at the bottom of the article on our website. Up next, Emanate is live. The wait is finally over. Emanate Alpha has been released and it looks and sounds fantastic. Currently, the platform features 50 hand-selected artists that already receive real-time payments based on how long their music is streamed. For listeners, the service is currently free, enabling a frictionless onboarding process that is made possible through the Emanate Growth Pool, which we enjoy describing as Rex for Music. Along with Emanate Alpha, the team published an article touching on their 2-year journey and explaining the current features found in Emanate. We also enjoyed the video they published that included a banging track featuring one of Emanate's artists. Overall, it's all very cool. Artists are getting paid on the blockchain every few seconds based on approvably fair metrics. Our 2017 crypto dreams are becoming a reality and it's pretty exciting. You can find links to the Emanate Alpha and more information at the bottom of the article on our website. Up next, EOSIO privacy projects. Blockchain privacy is likely to be a very popular topic in the coming 6 to 18 months, and unsurprisingly, we're seeing more and more privacy-focused efforts in EOSIO. This week, we have updates from known players such as Pios and Privios, as well as a team we haven't mentioned before, Blockbase. On Pios, tokens can now be staked either through their Bolivar wallet, which is an alpha, or the very reliable Blocks.io. This staking feature was highly requested and will enable more security for Pios token holders, as well as allowing them to collect some rewards based on stake amount and duration. These rewards come from transaction fees generated from RAM costs, development costs, and staking rewards. The Pios project has also been more active in the Chinese community recently, which we love to see. Privios has been under development for quite a while now and is reportedly running reliably on the nodes spun up by the Slant team. But before proceeding to a public release, the team is having its code audited and tested by independent third parties. So far, the code has passed the first security audit performed by the German company Cure53. On top of the audit being done on their own code, the team is also testing 2 third-party libraries used in the project, EOSIS ECC and Secrets.js. It's good to see that the Slant team is taking security extremely seriously and thoroughly testing all their components. Novosphere is a platform that's also aiming to provide privacy to its users. This week they announced the EOS Discussions 2.0 update, which promises to introduce a unified ID for accounts, built-in multi-chain support, and its own web wallet. Through these changes, users will be able to seamlessly interact with the dApp without relying on third parties. Our fourth stop on this week's EOSIO privacy tour brings us to a team from Lisbon called Blockbase. Consisting of 16 members, Blockbase provides secure storage of data in compliance with the security triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. They're working on a data storage solution labeled Sidechain as a Service that encrypts data while keeping it searchable from inside the system without revealing its underlying information. The goal is to build a scalable, secure, and private data storage solution via sidechains that communicates with the EOS public network. You can find links to that and all of the other privacy projects we mentioned at the bottom of the article on our website. Up next, parallel US 2020 elections. After the first attempt in 2016 wasn't able to attract enough funding, Follow My Vote has announced that they are once again going to try to run parallel elections on the blockchain during the American presidential election. As we learned in the latest Everything EOS episode, Zach Gall has been one of the catalysts behind the scenes encouraging Follow My Vote to give it another try. Presidential candidate Andrew Yang has talked about modernizing the vote process through blockchain technology, so we're hopeful that this effort will be able to attract more funding and attention than last time. The goal for 2020 is to run a parallel vote alongside the real one as a means of potentially validating some election results and proving the concept of blockchain voting. The Follow My Vote team worked directly with Daniel Larimer, CTO of Block One, to design a patent for a blockchain electronic voting system powered by EOSIO, which is currently being licensed. The team is looking for more EOSIO developers to work on this project, for investors interested in their second round, as well as regular US voters that are interested in participating in the parallel election. We're happy to bring more attention to such a great initiative, and we encourage you to retweet their announcement to help spread the word. You can find the links to that, as well as the tweet and more about the Andrew Yang blockchain-based voting at the bottom of the article on our website. Up next, EOSIO Tools, Lamington. In their new series, EOSIO Tools, Block One introduced Lamington, which is an easier way to compile, test, deploy, and call actions on your EOSIO smart contracts from JavaScript and TypeScript. It's developed by Coinage, a company that advises projects and helps create customized smart contracts. In the interview, their founder Kevin Brown explained why they saw the need for such a tool and how the EOS developer community reacted to their contribution and how they plan to develop Lamington further. He explains the tools in its current form as follows. Lamington manages the compilation, deployment, testing, and calling of actions and get table rows so you don't have to. While the Coinage team is already using the tool for their own services, they prefer to spend some more time to eliminate minor flaws before they give it a production version number. Eventually, they also want to help users manage things like eosio.code permission. If you're a developer interested in testing and using Lamington, visit the core team on Slack or contribute issues or pull requests directly on their GitHub. In a different style of collaboration, Block One got some feedback and insights from 6 young tech girls from Central Asia. It's the second time that the tech girls came for a visit to the Blacksburg offices, and here were some of the key takeaways of the day. New eyes can bring fresh ideas on using blockchain technology. Creativity and engineering don't clash. And Block One is perceived as a top employer. You can find links to that and everything else we mentioned at the bottom of the article on our website. Up next, vote for Scatter, block producer. With an open love letter to the EOS community, the Scatter team announced their candidacy as a block producer while listing their impressive contributions to the ecosystem. Without the Scatter team, the EOS public network would be very different. Most mobile wallets and dApps are using Scatter code in the backend, and many of the rapid developments would not have been possible without the easy login solutions that Scatter provides. They've been opening EOS to other blockchains through multi-chain support, through their marketplace for in-game assets, and with the embedded Riddle reputation system. Scatter is much more than just a regular wallet. They introduced new standards for user-friendliness and security and demonstrated how to create value through the development of essential EOSIO tools. You can support Scatter by voting for their block producer account, Vote for Scatter. You can find more information about that at the bottom of the article on our website at eosnation.io. Up next, games. The excitement for EOS-based games is a global phenomenon, and users from all corners of the globe meet in multiple game worlds. Recently, an English-speaking business TV program in China, ICS Money Talks, picked up the potential of blockchain-based gaming and aired a piece in which they mentioned the EOS game Crypto Sword and Magic. The Azeris project is also well aware of the massive potential of gaming and has developed a concept that interconnects publishers, streamers, and gamers. Azeris just released a How Does It Work video explaining their platform and intentions. If you're interested in getting to know the team behind Azeris, we encourage you to read an interview with one of the founders, Alex Kasasovici, that was published by Block One in their BuiltOnEOS series. Azeris users currently log in with their Twitch account, But that could soon change if they integrate with other platforms that are also built on EOSIO, such as Ultra. It's exciting to see the EOSIO network effects that are starting to take root in the gaming industry. Speaking of Ultra, they recently showcased an early version of their storefront interface, giving an idea of what is possible when blockchain becomes an integral part of the gaming platform. Familiar to regular readers of the EOS Hot Sauce, Upland was recently featured in Block 1's BuiltOnEOS series. As explained by Aiden Zuckerman, co-founder of Upland, the game's virtual assets represent unique real-world objects. Owning these assets can blur the line between the virtual world and the physical world, and in this interview, we learn about the individual background of the three founders, as well as their future plans and vision for the game. Upland is currently in beta. The 3D superhero game has gained quite some popularity in the last few weeks, with many players joining the world to mine some resources and join in on some of the spontaneous dance battles. After a certain amount of resources are mined, a new feature allows users to craft swords by talking to the blacksmith. This process also creates an actual NFT that embeds into the sword the time and name of the user that crafted it. The Fast Echo team, creators of Superhero, does a great job keeping their superhero players excited through the regular updates, new features, and exciting teasers like the upcoming superhero quests. Is your sword ready for the adventure? Shout out to the great writer responsible for the hilarious blockchain lore that can be found while exploring the world. It's all coming together very nicely. And of course, a discussion about EOSIO gaming would not be complete without mentioning a little something about Wax. The very popular Prospectors game is now live on the Wax network. For those playing the version on the EOS public network, new features are expected once the EOSIO 1.8 upgrade is completed. You can find more information on that and everything else we mentioned at the bottom of the article on our website. Finally, CampDAO 2019. The first CampDAO has come and gone, and all participants are now back home safely. They discussed the experience with the CampDAO community members in a recap call recently. Pictures are starting to show up in the shared Google Photos folder where the team is currently working on a collaborative article to summarize their experience and takeaways. Luke Stokes from EOS DAC already shared some of his impressions in an article and video on Steemit. Every participant is looking forward to the next year, and the CampDAO custodians are determined to further define the vision of the project. If you're interested in attending, join the Telegram channel and help us prepare for CampDAO 2020. And finally, thank you to the people of Camp Decentral for letting us participate in their camp at a relatively short notice. They were tremendously helpful. You can find links to the photos, Luke's article, and more about Camp Decentral at the bottom of the article on our website. And that's all for this week's edition of EOS Hot Sauce. EOS Nation is a top block producer on the EOS public network. We earn inflation rewards based on the percentage of tokens staked towards us. Those rewards are reinvested into EOSIO community, tools, and infrastructure. Help grow the ecosystem by staking your vote to EOS Nation FTW for BP or proxying to Proxy4Nation. Once again, I'm your host, Daniel Keys, and we'll see you again next week. Until then, keep it spicy.